Good evening, everyone. Hope you've had yet another wonderful day and you are ready for another wonderful evening. Anyways, let's get into it. As I once again forget to turn down my volume before I unmute the game. But, yeah, let's play some Monster Train. Let's keep working through the crowns, of which we still have several to do. Good to see you, Fury. Good to see you, Joe. Alright, where are we starting today? That's a great question. We should probably do this one. Probably do Orechi Wormkin. That's not what I meant to click on. There we go. Yeah, we'll do Orechi Wormkin, I guess. Good to see you, Ether. How you doing, friend? Alright, we already got Wormkin right there. I do think we want the Echo Breaks. Again, Fracture's not a bad card. It's just, I do really like Echo Break for a number of reasons. That's the only one not colored in. Made sense. I mean, that was why we did it. Okay. Interesting set of starters. I do really like Echo Transfer, although it's less appealing when starting with Kinho's Carapace. Obviously, we can like pivot off of Kinho's Carapace. We don't have to use it. And Echo Transfer is just quite solid. Pseudoscience is frustrating, but overall okay. It's just like, I really hate the variants of Pseudoscience, where sometimes it is a fantastic card, and other times it is so infuriating to use. Yes, absolutely. So, the problem is these are both good. Like, we're not up against Entropy, so like I don't as much want Jackstrips, but Jackstrips is really good. Regardless, we're taking Carbon Coruscant. Or Carapace always overlooked, even though it got reworked. I wouldn't say that. I would say that I personally don't love using it. Like, I still do use it from time to time to good effect, but it's mostly just that Wormkin has a bunch of other, like, great units. People generally have been very positive about Kinho's Carapace since it got reworked. And especially, I think, at, like, lower Covenants, it is quite beastly. But even at Covenant 10, it's pretty solid. It does pay some of the same problems as, like, Spore Launcher, where you really do generally want to hit Smidgestone on it, or have some other way to, like, overstack it or deal with the capacity issues. But for the most part, still, it's a solid unit. I mean, pretty confident we want Mad Scientist. Brewmaster is good, but Mad Scientist is better and is rather helpful in general. It just doesn't scale fast enough, seems like. It's like Overgorger all over again. So, a couple things about that. Number one, Overgorger's problem was not that it didn't scale fast enough. It's that in Monster Train 1, one single large hit wasn't very good, and also that it only scales its attack, not its HP at the same time. You can increase the HP with the morsels that it is eating, and also you obviously have access to other defensive tools and all that, yada yada yada. But like that was the problem. It wasn't a problem of like how fast it's scaling. As far as Kinho's Carapace, I don't think I would describe it as not scaling fast enough. Like, for instance, Pincushion generally is going to be scaling like 12 to 18 like stats per battle, and I think Pincushion scales at a pretty reasonable rate. Kinho's Carapace, it's very reasonable to get like 20 to 30 or more, even in early battles. In later battles, if you're committed to the Kinho's Carapace, you can certainly do a lot more than that. And again, the more you scale early, The more... I'm not trying to be there. There we go. You know, the more you're able to scale early, the more you can then... yes, I did lose my train of thought. That's fine. Yeah, don't really want to do that. I was really hoping that we'd get one of the echo breaks, but that's okay. Because if I got one echo break, I could just kill them all before they could attack, and I wouldn't have to take all that damage, but this is fine. Anyways, yeah, if you're able to scale stats on it early, then you can pivot into... Well, I should have done this differently. Actually, what am I doing? We'll just do this. That's right. I want to use the echo transfer, and I can't do that. I guess we'll just freeze these. Anyways, if you scale stats on it, then you're able to dupe it later and, like, double up on those stats. Yada, yada, yada. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, now it actually gets to use its lifesteal. And we should be in good shape for the boss for the most part, especially since we've given Orechi an extra, like, 30 attack. You know, plus we have the infusion we've been building up, of course. Okay, so we'll wait to pop its ability one more turn, since we get, you know, one more turn in the fight. Right. Alright, well, yeah, I mean, point in case, it started at a 10-10, I believe, and so we've already gained 26-26 on it from a single battle, where we're not, you know, even optimized for it. I don't think that's bad scaling, per se. I mean, I do like Forevermore Serum. It's alive. It's actually fairly appealing with the Kenhouse Carapace, though. And obviously, Overworked Assistance is quite good. I will say It's alive, actually. An Infused Echo Transfer is appealing. The Bounding Echoes is also pretty nice. I think I'm just going to do this, though. I do want the Merchant of Magic. I think we're gonna go here, though. You're fine, but not what I want. Yeah, that's not really what I was hoping for. I maybe should have just, like, removed a card. My big concern right now is just looking ahead towards Dominion. That's the main issue we're looking at. But there's multiple ways we can solve that. Obviously, we can just, like, stack, reanimate, or we do have two different in-clan options for... There's two different options for days, which is probably what we want to be looking for most of all. Obviously, don't know if we're going to find them, but we'll see. Alright, well, we're doing okay. That is less good. Unfortunately, we didn't generate any charges on that turn. But again, we do what we can on this turn. Yeah, lifesteal actually was what I wanted there, kind of. I don't think I actually need to do the Echo Transfer, so we'll wait on that. We're already winning this, and I am going to have myself take some pyre damage so I can play out the extra charge. But there we go. Ta-da! I mean, the potion kit is fine. Also, again, after 2 battles, we're at 60-60. I think that's not bad. I don't really need the potion kit. It is fine, but yeah, I'll take it, I guess. Shelter's good, but I'll skip on that. Okay. If I had been offered hook hands or whatever it's called, meat hook. I never remember which one's the name of the unit and which was the name of the ability. Yeah, it is meat hook. Ability is hook hand. Okay, got that backwards. That's fine. Anyways, if I had been offered meat hook, I would have taken that. Without that, I will skip those. So, like, quick is sort of appealing because we're going to be stacking unstable on the enemies. Being able to attack first means that we can kill enemies and explode them before they get a chance to do anything. Because, like, killing one enemy can potentially kill lots of enemies, is what I'm trying to say. I think we still want to reroll. Smidge Stone's the ideal. Okay, yep. Although now cue us getting the flight upgrade. Although we can't take flight for Kinhost anyways. Conduit on Slay I don't give a shit about. I think we're doing the Leaky Pen, although I will need to take Ember, kind of. Okay, overall, we should be in good shape. I was hoping to get Echo Infusion for use with the Carven Corsica. Didn't happen, but that's probably fine. Sadly, I have less Ember per turn now, which is a meaningful issue. Okay, we'll just play those out and freeze those. Alright, well, we've already knocked off a fair bit of his mass. Oh, whoops. I already forgot. Can't put that on him. Because again, I very much need to not overwrite his ability. Like, that's the one major rule for using the Kinhost Carapace right now. And do wish that all my Echo transfers were infused, but alas, they are not. Okay, so now when the first one attacks in, then it explodes and does some other things, thanks to the spikes and the unstable. Yeah, we'll just build up another infusion, I guess. Okay. Oh, I should have done this differently. I didn't think I was going to do that, but then I decided last moment to do it. It's fine. It's just I could have put more unstable on him by summoning him earlier, basically. Kind of should have done that in a different order, but that's okay. It doesn't really affect things, so not terribly worried about the result. Okay. Well. I do wish that were charged positive and not just charged neutral, but that is just how it is. Yeah, I actually should have played this out. It's a minor thing, but still. Okay. Alright, so now we just play out as many charges as we can on this turn, and we're all good. Alright, gained some stats, murdered some dudes, we're doing alright. Definitely harder for me with the lower ember per turn from the leaky pen, but that's fine. We'll fix that. I think we're taking Eternal Kinstone. Unfortunately, it's not infused, but the permanent charges are still nice for what I'm doing. How you doing, Splat? It's just that word infused, it would be a lot better. And again, sadly, no meat hook. That would have been the only unit we really wanted there. Okay, let's make the secret ingredients more playable. So holdover on the Echo Transfer is good, but doesn't contribute to the charge situation. Eternal Kinstone would. It's Alive is also not bad. I guess I'm going to do this anyways, even though I kind of would like to focus on just building up charges. I am actually going to get rid of one of the other Echo Transfers. For a moment, I thought I had accidentally removed the one I cared about. But nope, did not happen. It's all good. There's a lot of dupes available. Okay. We'll start by duping this then. Well, the minus Ember hurts, but fine. And I do basically need to be on bottom floor right now, so... Because I can't let these guys go. That's just not acceptable. Alright, well, now... Sky's the limit and all that. Sure, we'll just leave it like that. I don't want to stab myself too badly, though. I am going to be gaining extra power regularly. Okay, so we eat those, and then immediately use that, which will refund to charge. And then we can start building up again. Although I probably should have played the pseudoscience. Doesn't matter a ton. I definitely didn't mean to play out all of those here. Didn't really need to, but hey. Sure, I'll just do this now. We might make it better by waiting one more turn, but... It is what it is. Either way, we're in real good shape, as Arcanos just kind of murders, and Orechi helps with a wave clear. Ta-da! I definitely want the Horrify, even if it's not infused. I also want the Soul Crushing Guilt, even though, yeah. I probably don't need both of them. Alright, let's be... How greedy do I want to be? Well, let's go here. I actually probably should go to the Merchant of Magic. I didn't. Here we are. Don't hate the Boiler Room, kind of. I don't know that we really need the Boiler Room, though. Morning, hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. Kind of tired, as I've been all week, but doing okay. How are you doing, Sally? I don't know. What else would I even want on this floor? Basically just like Zone of Silence. Pretty okay without that. Okay, let's just not, and what we are going to do is we're going to make another Eternal Kinstone. We're going to start removing some problems. Almost accidentally clicked on the reroll, which I didn't want. And here we go. I do want to save a fair bit of gold for reasons. Not least of which being that we're going to the Merchant of Trinkets after this. Okay. Yeah, the one problem is I don't want all the corruption that comes out of this. I was really looking for blue. Well, so be it. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, again, not what I was hoping for, but we'll see. I really want to get rid of that. But I also really would like to do a bunch of other things here, too. So, I think that's what we're going to do. We end up with a lot more corruption than I wanted, but so be it, fine. Yeah, I kind of have to do that if I want to get the kill, and I do want to get the kill. I just didn't want to have to waste the charges there. The other option would have been to like use up the infusion and fish for a blue infusion afterward, and I also did not want to do that. I want to build up my lifesteal basically as long as I can. Yes, more lifesteal. And then we consume some charges. There we go. I think I could have done that in a different order to get one more charge than what I got, but whatever, fine. Yeah, I don't want Orechi to be totally sapped, but so be it. I guess we'll just daze you so you don't get the extra... It won't fire the resolve trigger now, and so they won't get the extra Whatever I'm trying to say. They have to reanimate. Alright. Bunch of unstable. One big, bad, beautiful bug. He now has a bunch of lifesteal to offset the, essentially 44 damage they're taking each round. And then we make decent work out of the boss, and there we go. It's not infused, but we maybe want another Horrify. Interesting how before playing the infusion that seemed to be barely a win. Yeah, I mean it was still a win, but the reason that it turned around so heavily is because our kin host was dying mostly because of the corruption and because the boss does 20 damage a turn. But that's why we built up like 11 lifesteal on it, because with the high attack that it had and the high HP that it had, it just lives forever with that lifesteal. Everyone was marked as dying, including the boss, meaning the boss was losing the last reanimate to unstable. Yes. Yeah. That's exactly what was happening there. I mean, Acid Shower's not bad. I, again, kind of want to avoid taking things that aren't infused. So that does matter less going forward, and Dazing Dominion does matter going forward, so I guess we take another. Ooh. Yeah, I'll take the Ambient Charge, even though I can't really use both it and the other equipment at the same time. It's kind of cute. We'll definitely take Abyssal Prism. I don't really need Encased Divinity, though. So it's kind of nice. Hello, Glacier. How you doing? It's just unusual to have this sort of everyone dies preview aside from rebuilds where the damage comes all at once at the end of Relentless. I mean, yeah, that's totally fair. It is unusual for that to happen. I mean, Encased Divinity's alright. I don't think it's worth me taking here, though. Okay, yeah. Don't care about any of that. Alright. It's time for Kin Host number 2. I think I still want to be on top floor, but like they will hit pretty hard if I do. I just want to give myself as much time as possible to be like gorging upon charges. Realistically, I should probably just be going for red infusion so I can get lifesteal or damage shields. Anyway, so one of you is not going to be scaling as much as the other, but the permanent charge has certainly helped, giving us a baseline to make sure that they can always be doing their thing. I could also be staggering your abilities, which is actually what I probably should do. I did do this in the wrong order, that's fine. I also need to remember that I have Abyssal Prism now. And yeah, I should have taken Encased Divinity. The thing is just that I'm not convinced that I'm going to be on top floor on every fight. And so I thought it was probably worth it not to do that. It's going alright, Edmund. How about you? Yeah, I think we just use your ability next turn. And I will freeze these in hand just so that we're not drawing them later. I did mess this up a little bit. Well, I mean, it's still all pretty good. As we just keep working to power up our beautiful, beautiful creatures. I don't actually want to kill Kale this turn. I think I maybe could have, but I chose not to. It's not a huge deal, it's just I want more time to empower my buddies. Oh, whoops. Well. Would be nice if I had minus cost more things. But we have not done so. Alright, so Kale's here, which means that if we're not careful, we will kill Kale. Yeah. Which is fine. We'll just let that happen. Well, if I really wanted to... No, we're still killing no matter what. That's fine. Alright. Ta-da! I mean, Spike the League is good. I'm maybe just gonna skip, though. I mean, I should take it, probably, but... Fine. It gives me another Calcified Ember, which I'm not, like, wild about, but for the most part, it is quite good for me. Sure. Spell chain, you say? Sure, we'll do that, I guess. I would like to remove the non-infused things. Also, we just, like, realistically very much don't need the pseudosciences anymore. mean, they're still okay, and with Abyssal Prism, they are a little more interesting, but still, not important. Okay, well, I don't want to have to deal with the Scourge card, so we're going to set up on bottom floor. Well, we'll get rid of that while we have the opportunity. And then we will accept that we're going to take a little bit of damage. Oh, we could have done the Horrify. It's fine. My dudes can handle a little bit of corruption. And yes, I did do that in the wrong order. No, I'm not going to fix it. Well, I can't kill you super easily. Alright, so there's the infusion that we wanted. I don't really need to do the Soul Crushing Guild, so we're not going to... Well, I could do it at the end of the turn. But again, at the moment, I basically just want to build up charges. But I also could have frozen the Soul Crushing Guild, but that also seemed somewhat unnecessary. It will just explode the whole team, because we generate a lot of unstable with Orechi, and being able to kill them with a ping spell is nice. Did I pop your ability at the wrong time? Yeah, I think I accidentally clicked on him. Yeah, I'm doing this in the wrong order. I need to be using Orechi's ability first. There we go. That looks better. Okay, now we can eat those charges. And again, we are getting a lot of stats every turn. Like, even setting aside the actual stats that I'm getting from using the Echo Transfer, like, we just... Using their ability, we build up a lot. Yeah, I forgot that Orochi's thing was up and available this turn, but that's fine. We're not going to worry about it. And thus, before the days wears off, we murder real good. I like how duplicated cooldown 2 units can alternate abilities. Yeah, it's good. Insatiable Hunger is a weird card. Like, I talk about this semi-regularly when I see this card, but it's like, it's not a bad card, it's just I don't find myself with the need to use it, like, ever. Mostly just because it's in Lazarus, where you've got Reanimate. Reanimate is so strong. But, anyways, like, it's not bad, it's just ends up usually not being important. Revenge of the Damned is rather cute. I don't think I really want it. You know what? I will take it. How you doing, Cat Plays? Then we're going here. Sure. I don't really need Echo Seedling. I was hoping for Intrinsic, but that's okay. Yeah, don't need Echo Seedling. Don't need any of those, unfortunately. Well... maybe. I think I'm still fine without it. So I've got 7 deployment number. I already did the work of, like, thinning out my deployable stuff, so we'll just not worry about that. And we're going to make another Kin Host. Infusing with Korska is nice, though of course costs a draw. Yeah. I do wish that the ambient charge was deployable, but alas, it is not. I'm just gonna get rid of the potion kit, which seems maybe a little shenanigans, but that's what we're doing. And then we'll get rid of an Echo Break. I just need to draw into the dazing options quickly. I mean, I've got like 2 turns to do it, and that should be pretty fine. Because I can bait Dominion up there. And then, yeah, here's the Soul Crushing Guilt already. Alright, you end up with a bit of corruption, but that's fine. Okay, I'll leave your ability till next turn. Though, at this point, like, maxing their charge potential isn't wildly concerning. Still nice, though. Even if unnecessary. Hair. days for so many turns already. Okay. At this point, a flying kill is going to interrupt the scaling. Yeah, it is one of those things. Which is fine. With 2,000 damage on turn 2. Yeah, we do a lot of damage, so. Well, it means they've been sufficiently scaled. That it does. Alright, we're not quite getting the boss kill. I probably could have if I had tried. But I didn't actually want to, which means we get 2 more turns of scaling, which is fine. I could also stop using the Echo Transfer if I wanted to draw a card that was actually charge positive rather than just charge neutral. But again, my desire for that is fairly low. Alright, well, we're getting the kill. May as well go out in style. And there we go. Ta-da! I wasn't sure we were going to get, like, 3 carapaces. I would have been okay with just 1, since Orechi's doing so much of the wave clear for us. I basically just wanted the carapace primarily for, like, defense, just being a big body blocker. And then also for just, you know, winning relentless. But, yeah, our 3 kin hosts are doing some work for us, for sure. Nearly up to 400 attack naturally each, despite when I split them. Like, they're still being pretty relevant. I should actually probably have the stronger ones in back so that they're less likely to be wasting their attacks, but it's not a big deal. First duplication didn't even cost perma scaling since they could alternate turns. Yeah, there was a little bit of awkwardness, but for the most part, yeah, it didn't really cost anything at all. Really love Carapace Monster Train 2, such a good unit. Yeah, it's not my favorite Wormkin unit, but it is good. I really like the changes that were done to it, for sure. Yeah, I'll just do, I guess, those 2. But yeah, anyways, I really like the changes to it. I think it's a way better unit than it was before, also way more interesting, and that's basically everything I want. Okay, so I have to do that if I want to stop you from hurting me, which I would like to avoid. Except that I didn't actually sap Dominion enough. I thought I had, but clearly I didn't actually do it properly. Well, not a big deal. It's just I could have gotten out of this fight with 0 damage. And that would have been nice. Oh, I was supposed to kill with that instead. Whoops. Well, that's fine. Like, I'm not doing the greatest job of powering up my dudes at this point, but also, what does it matter? Okay. If only we had serrated mandibles to be building up a reap, but alas, we do not. Well, we're just waiting to kill you, I guess. I was hoping to get more mixing materials. You know what, let's just daze you. I should still kill the minion at a fast rate, even without using the, even without using the Pyrolite. Though we're certainly not drawing what I'd hoped to be drawing. Well, that was disappointing. And yes, I should have done that in a different order. Oh well. There we go. Alright, and thus you can feast upon them. And it doesn't matter because there goes Dominion. Oh boy, only took 10 damage. Not so bad. Overall, that was a fun run. We built us some nice, beautiful carapaces. And thus, we've done, I think, one on every banner now. Obviously, we still need to do the remaining crown on each banner, but we don't have any that are purely gray anymore. Okay, so what did our carapaces end at? 426, 426, 466, and 396. Alright, not bad. Perfectly respectable. Hello, Elix. How you doing? If you didn't see, we did run your seed yesterday. All end in 6, coincidentally. I didn't even notice, but fair point. They did. Alright, what do we play next? That is a good question. I think we probably do one of the Rail Force champs. Sorry, now I have my headset on, just came in. No worries. Good to see you, Elix. If you didn't see, we did run your seed yesterday. So if you didn't already watch the VOD, just know that it's in there for you to check it out whenever you want. If you have any questions on any decisions I made or any of that, feel free to ask. Alright, let us play a Railforge champ. I think we're probably playing a Hef because we haven't played her recently. It's just that we had done a lot of the Hef crowns early, so I was trying to even out Herzl. And even now we have 3 Herzl and only 2 Hef. Maybe I do one more Herzl then to even it out. Fine, it's not what I want to do, but we'll do Herzl into Umbra. Herzl's a fine champion, not my favorite champion, but he's okay. I really mainly wish that his blacksmith path were different. It's so front-loaded. It's not even necessarily, like, bad. It's just, I don't like that the main play pattern of blacksmith is you put him down, he just goes through all of his attacks on turn 1, and then you ignore him for the rest of the fight as you then spend those forge points elsewhere. Again, not explicitly bad, just not very interesting either. Yes, he does have the equip trigger to like refresh his burst, but it's not that impressive. Especially since Railforge only has 2 ways to generate equipment, and one of them is on a champion path of Hef. I don't know, for the most part, Herzl is just a little too passive for me. Burst can't even be saved up for Relentless due to flying bosses. It technically can with Geared Gauntlet, but yeah, I agree. And that's part of what I find unsatisfying about Burst with the Titans, is just that even if you are utilizing Burst well elsewhere, there are plenty of situations where I wouldn't really want to burn all of my Burst on turn 1, and yet with the Titans you always have to burn through all of your burst. It's particularly annoying that you still burn the burst even when entropy is dead, because it still is there for you to attack into, even if the attacks are meaningless for the most part. But whatever. We are taking Plink instead of Shade Splitter, and it doesn't matter. Alright. Well, this is an interesting selection. We do have Umbra, so it is possible that we're going to get, like, Perils, which would work good with the Railgun. And in general, I do just kind of like Railgun. Masterwork is a not small amount of forge points, which could work really well if we went with, like, Enduring Steel. Also works just fine even if we're only doing, like, Blacksmith or whatever. Armament Drive is also good, particularly if we're doing Blacksmith. Kindle would actually be a good card here with Railgun. It would. Well, there's that one card that generates equipment. Yeah, like I was saying, there's Armament Drive, but that's the only card that generates equipment, and it is a consume card. I'm surprised Railforge don't have more cards that do so when Burst Herzl exists. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple things to say about that. I think the main thing is that, well, I think the 2 main things are, one, to keep Forge as an interesting mechanic, you need to make it so that it is actually a bit of a hurdle and like a decision point about when and how you spend your forge. If you had a bunch of ways to generate equipment so you can essentially just spend your forge on any given turn at any given point that you care about, forge becomes a lot less interesting. And then secondly, to have more cards that are generating equipment, you would have to be cutting out like support for the other clan mechanics. So you have to either be cutting some things to generate forge, or you need to be cutting, like the rooms with equipment, or the rooms with abilities, or you need to cut some of the equipment, even though the equipment helps you to spend forge as well. And also, I generally would rather have interesting equipment than a card that creates a generic equipment. Yada, yada, yada. Like, I get what you're saying, and I largely agree, but I can definitely see how we arrived at this situation. Also, I will say that the equip trigger on Herzl feels more like an afterthought. Like, I don't know what I would want to see here instead of equipped, but I wouldn't dislike if there were a different trigger instead to give him his burst back. Unfortunately, you can't do, like, resolve, because then it's effectively the same as him just having multi-strike a lot of the time. And to be clear, I prefer him having burst over being another, like, triple striking champion path. I don't love burst, but I at least like champions doing things that are a little unique. But anyways, agreed, crafted equipment is not interesting equipment. Yeah. Like, I do think it plays with the clan mechanics and functions well with some, like, cross-clan synergies, but on its own, crafted equipment isn't, like, super interesting as a mechanic. I wonder how interesting it'd be if the trigger were something like when forge points are spent on this floor. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about that. That might be interesting in that it might get you... It might encourage you to spend your forge points more frequently rather than trying to, like, build them up. But, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, at some point, I need to actually make a decision here. They're all good. I think I lean towards maybe the masterwork. Partly because I know myself and it's highly likely that I'm going to take Enduring Steel if it's offered. Even if it is rough. Sure, fine. Well, I definitely don't want Cannibalize here. The others are both sort of interesting. God, why do I have Packed Morsels? Yeah, the Cave-In is sort of nice, especially because I'm going to have like 1,000 extra banner units, and also Conductor Steward being able to force the entire floor to attack is pretty solid if I can stack a bunch of units together. I don't know. I kind of want the engine upgrade, but we'll take the Cave-Ins. Well, I hate Steel Steward. Like, Shadow Eater is kind of good, but not in this situation, so... Yeah, we're gonna take Dante's Footstool, even though it doesn't do anything for me yet. Alright, well... That is less helpful than desired. Um... Fine, I guess. Took us a long time to actually even get into the run this time. Yeah, fine. Let's just forge you, even though it doesn't super matter. Okay, so we're doing that so we can feed a bunch of things to Herzl. We'll just do that, I guess. I have a surprising amount of smelting, despite my deck having just being tiny, essentially. Like, I don't have a lot of things to smelt, is what I'm trying to get at. Also, generating a bunch of forge here doesn't help when I have nothing to forge, but that's a later problem. Okay, well, let's just do some things. Unfortunately, nothing to smelt, but that's okay. We unsurprisingly just kind of beat him to death. Ta-da! Weldling is not bad. Steel Polyclaw is interesting. Hammerfall's okay. I think we probably just want the Weldling, though. Sure. Prismal Dust is good. I hate Pyre Steward, and I do like Crucible Steward, but we're not taking another one. We're up against Dominion. I was hoping for, like, not that. I was hoping for multi-strike. But hey, Smidgestone also would have been acceptable. Might be okay with quick. Well, let's not worry about it. We'll figure it out. I also did forget that I had Dante's Footstool, so the Steel Polyclaw would have been pretty nice. But alas, here we are. Oh, I actually kind of meant to play you in front. Not a huge deal, but... yeah, not perfect, but okay. Yeah, that's fine enough. I should have given one of the damage ones to you guys, because upping your attack stat does really help. Kind of. But then we didn't do it, so here we are. Oh, boyo. Well, we already have the win, but let's win harder. And there we go. Our deck is working. It's not, like, incredibly impressive yet, but we're working on it. I mean, the boilerplate is a good payoff for what we're doing, so I will take that. Although, again, I have a lot of defense now that I took a second Prismal Dust, which, frankly, didn't really need to take. I just want to go for the Merchant of Arms. I do pretty badly want to go here, though. I mean, Quick is still vaguely appealing. Burst is not. Yeah, the damage shields were also pretty nice. I guess I will take damage shields for now on you, even though I'm not convincing me using long term. Also, I meant to check this. I didn't. That's fine. Ooh, that is exactly what I was hoping to find. Okay, that makes my life a lot better. Although, now it makes me wish I had taken that other Conductor Steward. Okay, interesting. Interesting. I'm sorry, we're doing this not quite like that. We're putting this one here, and then this one goes here. And yes, I did do that, not the ordering that I meant to do it, but that's fine. Not quite perfect. Overall, good enough. We already knocked off most of his mass, despite this being the more mass Flesh Weaver. And it's overall pretty good. I do want the Weldling, also want the Masterwork. Okay, we'll just do that. We're gonna hold off on the Weldling, even though I shouldn't. But I'm greeding a little bit here. Oh, whoops. I meant to do that here so we could trigger the edge one more time, and then I just didn't do that. But that's okay. We're in good shape now. Now that we actually, like, have things to expend our forge points on. Whoops, I meant to spend the forge points and I forgot. Not a big deal. Pretty confident we're gonna murder Flesh Weaver. As is. Okay, just like nothing in my deck. Alright. And thus, we easily get the kill. Ta-da! Umberstone is good in general. Assembly Room is probably what we want, especially since I have Dante's Footstool. Yeah, Assembly Room is pretty solid for us, kind of. Kind of. Problem is my offense is still pretty poor. Do I want this Conductor Steward? Kind of. I recently learned that Assembly Room doesn't copy equipment, but retains the stats from equipment for some reason. It's just a bug. I would expect it to get fixed at some point. Technically, that bug existed for a while now, but in just a very niche circumstance that most people wouldn't think to do, which is that you could already do it with morsels by using Shroud Mitosis, the card that copies, makes several copies of morsels. So you could equip a morsel, use Shroud Mitosis to make more morsels, give them a new equipment, copy them again, yada yada yada. It's a relatively easy way to make a team of battle morsels, which is cute, but it really shouldn't work that way. Like, rules is written, there's no logical reason it works that way. Okay, I guess I will take a second one. We're going to take the Ember for now. I can see why that bug wasn't caught. Technically, it was caught, kind of. It just never got prioritized, I guess. I guess we're going here. The main method is copy units before this were a replicator array, which removes the equipment. Yeah, so that doesn't work. And Hall of Mirrors, generally the unit can't be equipped, and crafted units get their equipment duplicate. Yeah. It just doesn't really come up with most other ways. Honestly, dipping into Enduring Steel is probably much better than doing Blacksmith 2. I really generally like going all the way down Champion Path, but Enduring Steel is sort of much better for me right now, I think. Kind of. Because if I go all the way down Blacksmith, because like it does increase the forge gain. It's like if I go all the way down Blacksmith, I can get essentially 18 forge points on turn 1. And the forge points aren't nerfed at all. Because like if we go to rank 2 of Enduring Steel, we'd still only be at +1 attack and +2 armor. But extra attack and armor gives way more than that extra forge points. Kind of, yes. Like, I'd have to build it up is the main point. Plus, we'd still be generating more forge points as the battle continues with Blacksmith. It's also a much higher, like, first turn output of damage, which is sort of helpful for what I'm doing. It might actually be better just to go with Blacksmith. Enduring Steel's good-ish for what I'm doing. Alternatively, I could also do like rank 2 of Blacksmith, which is fine. Fuck it. We're just gonna go further down Blacksmith. That's okay. I should probably actually be doing the minus costing on like the Prismal Dust. I guess we do that. And then I was gonna dupe the Weldling. I think I still do want to do that. Okay. So, here we are. Right. Oh, look, it's our assembly room, and then it's steward number 1 and steward number 2. They were actually going to do that in not that order. Okay, so we play out the thick steward, then the thin steward. And then there's that. Okay. Alright. Yeah, don't know why I didn't do that first, but I didn't. That's fine. Sure, we'll do that already, I guess. Maybe I should wait. I think I should probably be building up the, I think I should probably be building that up further. Anyways. We'll just take our extra attack now. Oh, that confirms something I was curious about. Copy unit counts as a rally. It does. Which is a little weird. Honestly, wouldn't have expected it, but that is how it works. We're gonna eat that cave-in. And that cave-in. Okay, we have a Weldling, and now we have a second Weldling. And we'll get a third Weldling, even though we can't buff it on this turn. But that's fine. We are reasonably powerful now. Especially since we have 3 Conductor Stewards, so we've staggered it such that we are able to get an extra attack every turn. So they can't even hurt us. Anyways, we'll fly that one out so we can dupe these guys again, because that is just better for us. Anyways, I have forge points. It doesn't matter, but yada yada yada. Here we are. Oh no, it's Corin! What a terrible fate. My deck is so tiny. Yeah. Here we are. Foundry line's cute. We'll take Machinist Tome, maybe. I do actually kind of want the Geared Gauntlet. So I think Geared Gauntlet works weirdly with, well, yeah. This is excessive bullying. I mean, we're going to need more than this later, but it does work well at the moment. And I do sort of want Machinist Tome, but it also feels like overkill when I'm already generating a lot of defense. I don't know, fuck it. Take Geared Gauntlet. There is something specific I would like to do with Geared Gauntlet. The Merchant of Steel, we don't totally need. Not anymore, so I guess I'm gonna go here. I don't hate the removals. I want to see the armory. Yeah, it's a little weird, but we'll do this. Also, the Trap Shoot is sort of appealing against Dominion. Oh, yeah, absolutely, we're taking that. Departure Manifest is cute, but we actually don't want it. Because we do want to be able to forge our weldlings. Okay, should be fine. Turns out a free assembly room is pretty solid, among other shenanigans I've got going. Okay, so we do want a third one of those. Okay, that's good enough. I do want to wait on the boilerplate. I guess we're just going to play the welding out here. And then we'll just get rid of you later when we want to. When we're running out of capacity on this big, thick, giant floor. Okay, don't need the cave-in. Okay, let's do that so I can do things. Alright, look at him go. We can actually be doing something cute with the assembly room that I had spaced out on. Specifically with the weldlings. Not that it matters at the moment. Two waves remaining. Does attack immediately override Geared Gauntlet, as in can they attack while they've got the Geared Gauntlet on? I believe currently yes. I believe before they could not, but I think it got changed in a patch at some point. Okay, we'll let that cycle. We've got 2 more turns, so... Unfortunately, I want Herzl to be attacking. But, not a huge deal. Yeah, so you have more attack, but you have way more defense. So, we'll just copy you anyways. Though I should have done this first, but that's not a big deal. We have so much everything that it just doesn't matter. So... yeah. So, like, I could play the Masterwork by smelting the Metallurgy, but I then won't have the Ember to play with the Bulwark Plate, so that's not going to work. So we do this, and then we'll just go ahead and supercharge that. And then he's dead. He's dead, I tell you. Sure. It's a bit weird. We will do it. Okay, we're gonna go here looking for, like, one specific thing. I don't hate the Herzl's Hammer. Not what I was looking for, but I don't hate it. And I maybe take the Glass Cannon, too. Yeah, let's not. Sure, I'll take the Equalizing Rings and I will make that deployable. Like, it's gonna greatly reduce Herzl's damage output, but I don't super care about that. Well, honestly, the large mystery box isn't the worst thing for me right now. Don't really love it, though. I'm just gonna get rid of some cards. My deck is already very thin, but that's fine. Okay, so that goes there. Conductor 1, Conductor 2, Herzl. And then we ruin his attack. Although it's not quite as bad because he's at least getting HP from these guys. But still. But now it doesn't matter. Alright. So I'm going to open the box just so I have more smelt targets, basically. And yes, I know I could have equipped the hammer on Herzl, and maybe that's what I should have done, but this is fine. And then we'll just play this out to get rid of it, because I don't need the morsels. Not going to use the cave-in. We're fine. Okay. Guess I'm willing to do that. And we may as well play that for the armor, so here we are. And yeah, I know I could have flown that guy down, and I technically should have. It's just not important to me. Okay, so we have just enough that I can get rid of that, and then also play that, and then we can have you attack. And yeah, Herzl does get to attack through the geared gauntlet, thanks to the conductor stewards. Which is how I thought it worked currently, but it's good to confirm. Alright. Yeah, we can wait. We're not killing Kale yet, so... Well, my deck is tiny, which again is part of why the large mystery box may have been nice, but here we are nonetheless. And I could dupe a dude. Fine, why not? Slightly wrong order, and that I could have given the damage shields before I duped him, but again, that's fine. Okay, so we do that, and then Herzl attacks. And just for good measure, we'll do this now. Ta-da! Well, our general game plan is working well. Don't need those. The Anvil Breaker's kind of cute. Honestly, maybe should have taken it. I did not. I guess I'm taking Ember. I probably want to draw, though. But here we are. Okay. Before we do the next battle, I need to go grab something. I'll be right back. Alright, apologies. I'm back. Let us continue onwards. So, God, our boilerplate has a lot of armor now. I mean, no great surprise since we are just generating a lot of forge points, especially now that we have Herzl's Anvil. And we're essentially only dumping them into the boilerplate right now. We definitely don't need to do that from here on out. From here on out, we probably are much better served, like, building up the weldlings. Since we're duping the weldlings multiple times. That's the whole point of what we're doing. Anyways, I don't really need to dupe anything other than maybe the equalizing rings. I certainly don't need the Merchant of Steel. I do want one more shot at a Merchant of Arms, because I would like to see specifically weapons cache. Yeah. Okay. Enduring Seal, again, kind of cute. Not that important. Well, there's a weapons cache. I will just take this one instead of buying one. And then that becomes deployable. Yeah, not entirely sure why I took the extra ember here. I didn't really need it. Kind of. I already had enough deployment ember, basically. Like, I was originally planning on making more conductor stewards, but now we just make our own, and I don't really need to do that. Yeah, let's grab that, and that, I guess. It's a little greedy, but that's fine. Unfortunately, the silence dude kind of fucks with us. I don't have any good ways around that, so that's fine. It is just what it is, I suppose. Oh, wrong order. Just running on autopilot already. Okay, so we play the weapons cache. Now we play dude number 1 and dude number 2, and then Herzl himself. Okay. I'm not going to play with the Herzl's Hammer because I would like that on one of the weldlings. Or do I actually care? I do. Okay. Unfortunately, can't do anything about you because you're a jerk. And again, this is why I should have taken draw so that we could get a weldling on turn 1 more easily to mitigate this bad situation. But here we are. Yeah, the problem is that, like, because Geared Gauntlet loses all burst at end of turn, or after using the ability, that ends up being somewhat unsatisfying. It will work just fine during the Titans, and to a degree against Seraph. But I think we're actually just going to give you that for now. It would have been nice to have morsels that actually did damage, but here we are. Okay, I think we're gonna greed and just not forge you and wait to spend our forge points on the next one. Didn't mean to buff you guys. Not too worried about it. Okay, so alright, we now have 89 forge points to spend. Don't mind if I do. There we go. Not too bad. I now get just an insane amount of things. Unfortunately, I have to waste a bunch of attacks into the reanimate and all that. Yeah, well, it's fine. We'll manage. Okay, we can do that, which allows me to kill everything. Again, it's not like ideal, but it does work. Okay, we'll just drop the metallurgies, even though they're not, like, terrible for me. I am going to fly you out of the way, just because I don't have capacity to make another dude, and I would like to make another dude. Once again, these guys are causing me great and terrible grief, but so be it. I'll just take the 1 damage, even though I don't really need to. Okay, so now you're silenced, of course, which is a little annoying. It means that I can't play quite everything I would like to do. SD Styles on a quest to prove to anyone that Weldling is the best. Not quite, but yeah, I mean, Weldling is good. I don't think we kill on the next attack, but just to be certain, we'll just go ahead and do this now. Yeah, I agree that is generally a good unit. Yeah, it's good. It's just pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, full throttle is pretty cute. Sure, I guess. I don't know. I don't know that I need to dupe anything. Pretty confident we just want to go here and make things a little more playable. Don't need those. Don't need those. Double stack there is fine. Guess I'll spell chain that. I don't know, like, these things don't really matter to me. Actually, probably want to not intrinsic that and probably do like the Versatile Dust. But here we are. So I'm still not like crazy well set up for this. Kind of. Alright, let's get rid of that, and let's get rid of this, even though I don't really need to do that. Yeah, I don't really have anything that I can spend my gold on. Whatever, who cares? I don't really care in the slightest. And in fact, I maybe just want to get rid of the other one. The main thing is I would like to draw a Weldling on turn 1, basically. Which is partly why I should have cut out... You know what? Who really needs Metallurgy anyways? It's partly why I should have taken Draw instead of the second Ember upgrade. But whatever, here we are. Things are fine. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't draw in quite the way that I wanted. I guess what we're going to do is this. And then, unfortunately, I can't get the Herzl's Hammer. And yes, I'm leaving it up there on purpose. So then this happens. And then we can just fly down to somewhere else entirely. Oh, that's fine. Whatever. I'm surprised you didn't smith the armor. I don't need to smith the armor at this point. I just want to smith the, or forge the Weldling that we haven't drawn yet. That's all that really matters to us. I mean, I could do that, which is fairly impressive. Okay. Well, he's almost dead. Imagine hammer 20 strikes. Yeah, I thought about doing exactly that. And I could have just... I could have done other things to get the kill, but here we are. Kablam. Look at our flying weldlings. Okay. What a world. Ooh, okay. Alright, so, as before, we play these in a particular order. Sure, you have the boilerplate, who cares? Alright, so first off, we do that. Wait, is the assembly room usable during deployment? It looked active. It is not. You cannot use room abilities during deployment. Can't use any abilities during deployment, actually, but it does specifically block it. Even though the icon looks active. Do I want to do more attacks here? I guess we probably wait. Well, didn't draw what we needed yet, but that's fine. Alright. We're just gonna consume one of those so I can play the other. Like, I don't strongly care about having two of them. I only have the second one so that I had more redundancy on when I draw them. Alright, we're already back up to 16 forge points. I could block savagery this turn. I don't need to, but it is kind of cute. Yeah, whatever, we'll just leave it. It would be cute to have my weldings become flying protectors, but still. a little bit of a waste. That's fine. It's not like we need it to be perfect, given that we've already taken down both Savagery and Entropy. Not quite what I meant to do, but that's fine. We'll do it this way. Oh look, you're blocking him this turn. How exciting. I'm generating a bunch of forge points that I can't do anything with. Okay, and then welding number 2 goes over there. Whatever. We'll heal a tiny bit and apply some damage shields. Doesn't really matter. Again, we're just waiting for Dominion to die. As one does. Alright. I generate a lot of forge points. Get my 2,000 armor. Even my auxiliary dudes have, you know, 1,500 and 700 armor. And, you know, not a trivial amount of attack either. You son of a bitch. Okay, well, we'll make another dude even though he's silenced. Here we are. Here we are. Anyways, that was the thing. It was cute, you know, getting as much burst as we could on Herzl and then just having him attack immediately and generate 1,000 forge points. I think that's basically the most interesting thing you can do with Blacksmith Herzl. There are technically other similar-ish things you can do, like reforming him repeatedly, or giving him endless can do similar things as well. But here we are. But yeah, generally, like, the best thing to do with Blacksmith Herzl is to use him to just generate a bunch of forge points early, and then play out something strong. Like the weldling or an equipment or whatever. Okay, what are we playing next? Yeah, I think we do some of the Wormkin champions. I was just double checking if we have more crowns with one than the other. I think they're about the same. So let's do... I don't know. Let's do Spine Chief and Hellhorns. The Queen's Implings are not the worst for Spine Chief, since, you know, if we end up going with Corruptor, they're a 1 capacity unit, which works out well with his floor-wide attack buff. On the whole, though, not really what I want. We generally would much rather have the torches for a multitude of reasons, not least which being It's way easier to generate charges with torches. I don't like Malekith's Pyre, and Kinho's Carapace is not the Bannerina we wanted. Ooh. I mean, I do like Guild Marker, but we'll take Decayed Decoy, and then hopefully we didn't get the one we wanted. I was hoping for Decayer to go with Decayed Decoy. Not that that's really necessary, but it is nice. So these are both good. I was sort of leaning towards Corruptor, since there are things like Horned Warrior or Demon Fiend in Clan, both of which can make good use of a hefty attack bonus. Infector is fine. And by that I mean it's generally quite strong. I kind of want to take Infector. I know. I was going to say I kind of want to take Infector in case we get like Serrated Mandibles, even though it's very unlikely. But even if we did, Serrated Mandibles doesn't work with Infector Spine Chief anymore because somebody didn't want it to work that way. So unfortunately that interaction no longer works. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we'll just take Corruptor. That's fine. Carapace with Spine Chief is a pain. It's okay. It's not ideal, kind of. But it still does sort of work. And by that I mean, we could just be like not focusing on Spine Chief and just building up the Carapace, and that is still a reasonably good early game play. Oh, yeah, let's do it like this. Oh, whoops. I forgot that I needed one Ember still. I mean, it feels very sad not being able to place them on one floor. Yeah, that I agree with. But my point was mostly that even when you can't put them on the same floor, they can still be a good starting pairing. And you just need to, like, you know, mitigate that in the future. Should have generated more charges here. Okay, you know what? Let's actually do this differently. Alright, well, here we are. I'm just trying to mitigate my health loss. And maybe draw into the... I did forget that I have Decayed Decoy, and we could be doing some extra damage too with the Reap. That's fine. Anyways, it would be nice to get the shelters. I didn't get any shelter here. Okay, that's disappointing. I was definitely anticipating redrawing them. Not that they would have been good for me to play out before, but... Well, that's a bad start for me. Oh well, fine. Yeah, I mean, this is quite good for me. The only problem is that it's charged neutral, not charged positive. And we really would like it to be charged positive. But, fine. It still helps with a thing I majorly want help with. Not exactly what I was hoping for, but we probably want Rail Beater here. Okay, don't hate that. I do wish that we didn't have Malika's Pyre. But here we are. I think I want you in front. This is one of the problems with starting with Fracture, is that, like, I really don't ever want to cast Fracture on my own dudes. I mean, like, sometimes I'll do it, but it's not what I want to do. At least you have the Incant armor. Anyways, the point of why I would cast Fracture on my own dudes is just to be able to put charge on the floor. Like, I'm happy to do that generally with an Echo Break. A lot less happy to do that with Fracture, since it is lasting, ongoing damage. My poor Kinhost Carapace. May as well eat a charge. Not really planning to use them, but just in case. I didn't want to take the damage because I'm already so low, but I do want to get rid of the Calcified Ember, so down to 4 HP we go. I don't want the burst, but I do want the Bogfly. Fucking hate Malika's Pyre. At least it's not Pyre of Entropy, but like this is infuriating. Yeah, I'm gonna go here, I guess. Largely for the healing. Exile's Diadem is what we want. Other things are good too. Like, I don't dislike Spell Sanctum, but Exile's Diadem is right where we want it. Steward's Quarters may be also interesting. I do like the Reanimate, but I'm not going to worry about that. It ultimately isn't going to solve the problems I need it to solve, so. Do I want Steward's Quarters? Don't think I do, since I already need to put deployable on the Diadem. Technically, Steward's Quarters would be cute in just turning my Stewards into actual fighting monstrosities, which would work well with Corruptor, since any, like, sort of force multiplier is very potent with Corruptor. Which is to say, the multi-strike on the Stewards here, plus I could actually just upgrade the Stewards to also have multi-strike, or Smidgestone, or whatever, would be sort of nice. But we'll just leave it at that. No, because it's a very good example of something being mathematically good does not mean it's actually good IRL. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it's not good IRL, but I would say that at least for me, and I know some other players, yes, mathematically it is good, but unsatisfying to use. Okay, so. I like Pyre of Entropy. How dare you? You foul scum. I should maybe be putting Reap on Archeon, but I wanted to kill some of his units. Just because it's nice to kill them before they can attack into me. Alright, we're still taking a little bit of damage from you. Ain't great, but hey. We're not, like, incredibly efficient, and my defense is getting thrown off by him repositioning my things, but it's mostly fine. Unfortunately, you do die here, which feels pretty not great. Like, it's not one of my core units, but just any extra unit on the floor helps our damage tremendously. Okay, we were already winning. Now, we're winning in style. Ta-da! Okay. Ooh, intrinsic accelerated incubation is sort of interesting. I don't have any eggs currently, but yeah, there's one more Wormkin banner, and there is a banner after this fight, which I think I hadn't seen yet. Maybe I had. Pretty sure I haven't. We'll take accelerated incubation. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do that. Alright, so we want Spell Chain here. This is not perfect, because again, it is charge neutral, but it is still good enough that I would like to do that. Okay, there's the Spell Chain that we wanted. Okay. And now things get a little more interesting. We could have also taken Decayer there, but I think we do just want this. Sadly, I can't do the double stack on the shelter, but that matters a lot less now that we have the Echo Infusion. It is still a concern, because we do need to be wary of savagery later on, but we've got time to manage that problem. So, he's now Small Chief. Alright, well, look at us go. And even one left over. Not a bad first turn. Yeah, poor Carapace dies, but we all gotta die sometime. Okay, well, my whole general game plan has substantially improved. I have way better defense thanks to the Echo Infusion. I have way better... Oh, I can't play that there because you hatched. We can do this, though. I said way better everything. When you hear Sal say, not a bad first turn, you know it is because the Pyre is the best Pyre. How dare you? Okay, whatever. We'll just burn the shelters. It's not like the most impressive use of shelters, but that's okay. Also, we haven't really gotten to take note of it yet, but with the Kinho's Pupa, it does get... It normally has Strike, Apply, Reap 1 to all enemy units, but it actually ends up being Reap 3 here, because it both has Dualism, which brings it up to Reap 2, and then we have Decayed Decoy, which brings it up to Reap 3. So, Reap 3 to each enemy unit, in addition to just being a powerful attacker. I don't really have the charge generation to greatly make use of that yet, but it is cute nonetheless. Yeah, definitely didn't need to do this in this order, but oh well. Well, unsurprisingly, we are going to beat him to death. One of those phrases that I know I do say fairly often when streaming. Anyways, here we are. Easy. I mean, Soul Crushing Guilt is good. Maybe worth taking. Yeah, I will take it. I didn't really want to, but I will. Branding Right's a maybe. We definitely don't need a holdover Battering Ram. If March of Shields were infused, I would pretty happily take that. But it's not. I just don't have great charge generation is the main thing. And that is a problem when our deck relies around building charges. Okay, give me quick. Multi-strike is appealing. I just don't know that it's really what we want. Yeah, I'll take sketches. Okay. I mean, I do like the Kinho's Vessel getting more multi-strike, but I don't think it really solves my main issue. And my main issue right now is preparing for, like, the sweep enemies in the Savagery fight. The problem is I don't know if I'm going to see quick on the reroll. Could go for a Merchant of Arms if I don't see what I need. Alright, fine. Yeah, that's not what I was hoping to see. Well, that's unfortunate. I would not call myself wildly happy about that turn of events. Yeah, I mean, I think we want the keeper instead. Okay, so one of these is going to be Bogfly. That's not where I wanted the Bogfly to go. But, oh well. We wanted the Bogfly to go on literally any other floor. And yes, we are dazing that just so it procs with Keeper's ability. Well, here we are. Okay, I mean, my deck is working fine for now. Again, it's mostly just looking ahead to the future, where I don't have that great of an answer lined up yet. There are still a couple ways that I can address it, but it is the concern. If I could just get quick on my units, that would be a lot easier to meet my needs. Well, I can only play this on top floor. You know, I guess I will, so we get less corruption. I'm not convinced that matters, but still seems right. Okay, well, Keeper Beck is doing his job. He's going down valiantly, except not anymore, because he doesn't need to go down. He's just that good. And there we go. Oh, I am surprisingly tired again. Oh. I do not need holdover Revenge of the Damned. Forgotten Trade, though. It wouldn't be useful if I get quick, or at least not as useful. Do I want Return Soul? Kind of. I guess I'm gonna skip, but it is appealing. I guess I'll take March of Shields. I don't know that I really need it, but so be it. Unfortunately, we don't get another Merchant of Steel until the end. Not happy about it, but let's go here. I do like the Bloodthirsty Blade. It's not what I want, though. But it might be what we need. I've got 6 Deployment Ember. don't think I need the Bloodthirsty Blade. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get what I wanted. I still might want to do... I was going to say, I might want the weapons cache. If I hadn't already put deployable on the diadem, I'd be way happier to do that. Still could be good with what I'm trying to do, but hey. Gotta admit, the Strixon Hallow music is a banger tune. It, in fact, is pretty banger. I was like, why is this not working? It's because I didn't do the one thing that's required. No, why'd they do it again? Those sons of bitches. Well, he's already in bad shape, but so be it. Well, I've taken 1 damage, but it was the only way I could still play out the vent and get those kills that turn. I have an idea why Sal is so tired. Pirate Entry takes revenge. How dare you? Mostly, just didn't get enough sleep yesterday, which in this case was my own fault. The other days, I honestly don't have as good an explanation, but yesterday 100% my own fault. Well, we'll just go ahead and daze you for several turns. Oh, right. Yeah, I gotta say, the holdover spell chain Echo Infusion, not bad. You're definitely outpacing the damage that's being dealt to us, which it was looking fairly bad for a while. Alright, she's down. Just Hallow remaining, who is already fairly low and has 36 Reap. He does have Titan Skin, though, so he won't be taking quite as much damage as he could. But that's pretty minor in the grand scheme of things. Well, we basically just always want to play our charges up here so that we can get the Inspire triggers. Because those are doing a fair bit of work for me. And thus, he's dead, I tell you. Unearthed Remains is cool. It's fairly expensive here, but I will still take it. I definitely don't need the capacity. Yeah, we're gonna go here. Let's see what we can do. Interesting. Probably didn't need to remove both of those, but I may have gotten carried away. So I could do this. I also kind of want to remove Consume on that, but that's just not really feasible. don't have the Ember to support that unless I get Carven Koriska, but I'm not going to make decisions around maybe seeing Carven Koriska. Sure, I will actually buff the Ven. So I could do Intrinsic Spell Chain on the Shelter. I don't know that that's really helpful. I will do this just as a bit of safety. Sure, I'll do that because it costs 0. Okay, so we have time to fix some issues. Yeah, someday maybe sketches will cooperate. We're probably going to have to remove the Bogfly just so I can get reliably the correct unit on the floor. I would like to have the Bogfly 2, mind you, but it does just matter a lot less. Yeah, we'll just leave without using that. We didn't really need to daze them, and so we didn't. I don't actually want Spine Chief in front, kind of, but that's where we ended up, so that's what we got. So we'll do that, and then we do that, which is enough to get the kill there now. Reanimate does keep the other guy alive, but, you know, what are we going to do about it, I guess? I think she can still stand in front. Like, we should be fine on this fight. It's just... next fight is the one that does concern me some. Yeah, so those guys are escaping, but we'll just ignore them because we're not going to let them get to the pyre. Unfortunately, Spine Chief does take a little bit more corruption, which is not ideal because if he dies, our damage output drops substantially. But he won't die if the boss can never attack. Ooh, boy. Alright, moment of truth. Are we going to get what we want? I do like Holdover Infused Return Soul. It's still not as good as when it also minus costs something, but it is good. Nonetheless, I am going to skip. I really wanted to see Smidge Stone. Multi-Strike also good. Yeah, unfortunately I don't need the Echo Seedling because we just dupe the Accelerated Incubation, which I've already got. I guess I'll do that. So, like, more attacks is quite good. Honestly, not even sure that quick would be enough. I just really worry about my defense is the thing. Alright, let's try it. Yeah, didn't hit what I wanted. Okay, well, unfortunate. So I could dupe the Keeper of Echoes. I was planning to do the Kanos Vessel this whole time. Oh, and also I can take that. I didn't remove the Bogfly yet, did I? Okay. I was thinking, once again, I don't have any non-banner units. I absolutely do. Unfortunately, they're not infused, so I can't just like play them down and immediately fly them to where I want. So that's maybe less an issue than I act like it is. I maybe just want to make a second keeper. I really wanted to make another egg, but maybe warranted to do this instead. Yeah, I think we're just large stoning the egg, duping the keeper. Wasn't what I wanted, but it mitigates my problems. And so how much deployment number do I have? I have 6. So, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. Okay. So I do definitely need to get rid of something. We'll get rid of you. Poor guy has only consumed a single charge this whole time. Oh, and I do have more removals anyways. Okay, let's get rid of vent number 1, and I kind of want to get rid of vent number 2, but that will stay for now. Sure, I guess we'll get rid of a torch. And then we are duping the keeper. And we're moving on from there. I maybe should have double checked, but I'm pretty sure this is all correct. So, Spine Chief comes out. I actually probably should have Spine Chief in front. I don't. Whatever. Here we are. Okay, so it should just be Keeper of Echoes goes on to bottom floor. Oh yeah, we have the base charge, so I actually can immediately fly you regardless, which is nice. Alright, and we did plan ahead. We have the Soul Crushing Guilt to stop you from hurting us too badly on turn 1. I still have other problems to deal with, but that was one of the major things. And again, the front keeper does take a bit of a beating, and the sweep on all those guys is not ideal, but it is ultimately working out, sort of, which is really all that we ask of it. God, our Kinho's cube is so big now. It looks like just a big bloated tick. Well, would be nice to get the Soul Crushing Guilt on a different turn. And actually, it worked out just fine on this turn. I was for some reason thinking there wasn't a chosen sweeper in that group. That's what I was thinking, that it would be nicer to have it on turn where it would actually allow us to daze Seraph, because he does still hit for 30 each turn, which is currently manageable, but it is also still a lot. Either way, we are sort of muddling our way through. Enjoy your reap, kind sir. Just gotta keep our dude alive. Alright, well, one of the keepers is going down, unless... Okay, I can block with the fly. Which is like, again, not perfect, but it is certainly better that the fly go down than a unit we strongly care about. Yes, look at us go. Ooh, boy. Again, also a shame that we didn't put extra multi-strike on the Kinho's Pupa, but alas. The large stone is still working out just fine. And it makes it a little easier for me to not have to protect as strongly. Ooh. Alright, time to kill some Titans. I think we actually want Spine Chief in front. Oh god, I keep doing this where I'm like, why can I not play out my other unit? It's pretty obvious, if you think about it. Okay, so there is Keeper number 2. Oops, don't mind me, I'm just very tired. I'm running on autopilot. Okay, we want to do this. And then we do that on the boss. We don't give the boss extra HP. Like, I could handle it. It would be okay. But it is incorrect. Alright, well, I don't hate a world where we have double keepers. And thanks for the follow. I really appreciate it. I do want to play that shelter out. Yeah, let's do that rather than doing the Unearthed Remains. I think the Unearthed Remains are probably very useful in the long run, though. Alright, we're just trying to mitigate problems and and reduce damage incoming to our floor a little bit. Because again, like, Spine Chief has to survive. It's a little less imperative now with the Keepers since we have another source of scaling, but we are still getting a lot of our extra attack, specifically from Spine Chief. Yeah, unfortunately, you still are killing a Keeper. Though actually, we probably want to sack you instead. I definitely should not have played quite so many spells on that floor. Oh well, it is what it is. I was gonna say something, and then all thoughts of it fled my brain. You can also tell that my brain is more sluggish than normal, as I am clearly fading a bit. This is definitely gonna be the last run, which doesn't mean a whole ton because we're about to finish it. Oh yeah, we're gonna finish up a little early tonight because I'm tired. Hopefully this weekend I can get more sleep and come back a little more rested next week. Alright, I still had a lot of fun this week, but definitely been a couple of very tired days. Either way, there we go. We still made it work. I didn't find the quick that I was looking for. We were still doing good damage with the Reap off of the egg, which is probably why I wanted to dupe the Kinhost Pupa. Since we were, you know, applying Reap 3 per hit. I wasn't generating enough charges to make it like an insane amount of damage, but it was cool sweeping Reap damage. I was enjoying it. But the Keeper of Echoes was also quite good in just keeping us alive through the sweep. Maybe you'd sleep better if you didn't play so many video games, young man. Thanks, Hearts. Thanks. So helpful. Oh, man. Also, it's been a long time since anyone's called me young man. Oh, anyways, yeah, we're gonna stop there. I apologize for being a bit too tired, but anyways, I hope you still had fun. I enjoyed the runs. I thought we had some cool things going on. Regardless, that's it for me for the night. That's it for me for the week. I'll be back on Monday. We'll play more Monster Train. If I have the date correct, I believe Slay the Spire 2 also comes out on Thursday next week, so we will probably be checking that out as well. I don't know how much Slay the Spire 2 we're going to play, since it's just the early access release, but we'll probably play it on Thursday, and then, like, you know, Monday, Tuesday next week after that. If it's really good, we might split, like, 50-50 with Slay the Spire and Monster Train for a bit. Since there is still a lot of Monster Train stuff I want to do, but I do like checking out other deck builders, and it's been a while since I played another one on the channel. But yeah, that's the general idea. We also may do a long stream on Thursday, depending on what my schedule looks like, so just so you're aware. Anyways, as always, thanks for hanging out, everyone. Truly, it means a lot to me. So, you know, have a wonderful evening. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you back on Monday.